Should that camera be on me or not? Oh, that's on them. Okay. Cool. Gotcha.
All right. 3, 2.
Guys, welcome to our live episode on the Nashville Fit podcast. We are here live at the expo. I am Sav, and I am here with my good friend, Jarrell. How we doing, Jarrell?
What's up, Savvy Sav? Man, we are here. We're live. The energy is high. How you feeling so far, man?
I'm feeling great. I have this adrenaline, I guess, or maybe it's nervous energy because there's now people around us. We're not in the studio, but no, it's really exciting. I've talked to so many people, so many friendly people, seen so many things I want to buy.
All the things, right?
There are so many things going on. It's like your head's on a swivel.
What's your go-to booth? What have you seen so far that's got you?
Honestly, it's the ones with the really bright lights, like Barbell Voodoo over here, and the really fun designs on their apparel. But I've seen some really unique apparel designs. That's really what's catching my eye. But then, aside from that, because t-shirts are t-shirts, but you got equipment out here. There's a platform that you can get, like a lifting platform that you can enter a raffle for, which that costs thousands of dollars.
Did you enter a raffle?
Not yet.
But you had it over there.
Yeah, work first, party later.
As soon as I leave this stage.
That's right.
Listen, man, the energy is high, as you can hear in the background. This is a crazy environment. Today's going to be a little different because we're going to have multiple guests come in and out, and we're going to sit down and talk to different business owners. We literally have everybody from apparel guests to chiropractors to, like you said, equipment providers to gym. Like literally everybody is here at the expo. We are building something humongous here in the South, baby. The South has something to say, as Outkast once said. So we're super excited. Our first guest is going to be Chad Rush. He's the owner of Rush Chiropractic here in Nashville. What's going on,
with a great
Chad?
t-shirt.
Chad came in
so
and
far away
moved
from
the
you.
whole table, man.
Feel far away.
Angle myself. I mean, scoot on in if you want. Yeah. Can he scoot over?
Well, we have a camera on him, so I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
He has his own camera.
Okay.
So.
That's what we get for bringing me up.
We're
It's all
making
good,
adjustments
Messed everything up.
so that we can all be friends. Hi, how are you? I love your t-shirt.
Thank you so much.
This is, I'm guessing, your t-shirt.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
So I'm a big weightlifter. Love dogs. Love the t-shirt that came out by Charlie Tango Apparel. And I said, well, I'm not going to rip them off, but I really like that. So let's make our own. And
I mean, what ideas are original anymore, That's awesome.
Get adjusted pet dogs.
Yeah. So how's your experience with your booth at the expo so far?
The Fit Expo is the only expo I go to anymore. We used to, when we first started up, we used to go to literally everything. I'd spend 3-4 weekends a month doing marketing, going to events, and gradually as the practice grew and I needed less marketing, I stopped going to all the boring stuff, and I started coming to this.
The fun
Just
stuff.
this.
So basically what you're saying is we have the best expo.
The best expo.
I mean,
around.
you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. So Chad, tell us a little bit about being a chiropractor. So I'm a former athlete, and a part of our programming was getting adjusted after games. I played football, so after games we would get adjusted. Who should get adjusted, how often, and under what circumstances?
Right. So in our practice, we specialize in athletes. We work with a lot of hockey players, a lot of football players, and athletes of all other kinds. But really, everyone should be getting adjusted. If you're in the athletic world, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's dancing, gymnasts, whatever, we go through all these different movements on a day-to-day basis that throw us off. These imbalances that add up and add up and add up. If we're not maintaining ourselves and taking care of those, eventually those compound. So if you continue and stay up to date with taking care of your body, whether it be through chiropractic, exercise prescription, exercise therapy, PT, massage, all that stuff, do it all.
Yeah, that's something I tell clients is, I know that you only have so much money, right, in your bank account, but I always tell my clients if there's something they have, big nutrition questions or big chiropractic questions, I feel like I just need to go to the chiropractor or something, or whatever it is, I'm always encouraging people to invest in your health, invest in all of those things.
Exactly.
And I absolutely believe in chiropractic. I have had a bad experience with chiropractic, yet I still think it's important to
Talk to us about what
get
happened.
adjusted.
Tell the story, Sam. What happened?
Oh, well, I mean, long story short, the first time I had a back injury was actually, I felt the pain first when I was hunched over scrubbing my balcony, and then I stood up, and it was this like sharp electric pain, and I could not stand all the way back up, and I freaked out. It was a stress fracture at the end of the day, but I went to just the chiropractor around the corner in an emergency and went in crying, had no idea like where I was or who I was talking to. I was desperate. And at the end of that session, he had adjusted me without taking any x-rays or asking many questions. I think in his defense, he was trying to help someone desperate, but it didn't help the situation because that's not what the diagnosis ended up being. And it was a stress fracture. So the adjustment was not helpful.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just walked into a random chiropractic, center. And
in that situation, Chad, what should he or she have done? Like if I walk in and say, yo, Chad, I can't stand up.
Yeah.
Your next move is what?
So there's a big issue with a lot of that. There's PTs, there's chiropractors, there's massage therapists, there's all these practitioners. There's 1,000,001 terrible ones, and there's a good handful of really good ones.
Just like trainers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's good and bad in any industry.
And, I'm one of those chiropractors where I'll send patients of mine to a PT. I'll send patients of mine to a medical doctor. I don't care. If it's someone I think that can get a better benefit from someone else, that's where they're going. And a lot of times I'll get those patients back and we'll wind up working together. But in your situation, one of those guys that probably should have done a better job with an exam, a history. There's a lot of places that don't do the right type of exam, history, and workup. And unfortunately, for a lot of those places, it's more money and less treating the person.
Yeah.
The reason I say I only do one event a year now, I don't come here to market really. I come here to be with all my athletes and all the fitness community that I've grown to love, met throughout my 5 years in Nashville, and I come here to meet more people because this is my community and this is what I want to be involved in.
I love that, man.
But what I was saying is I don't market anymore because I care about everyone that I work with, and I treat them like they're an NHL athlete. Whether it's mom at home, whether it's mom's kid, whether it's my brother, my brother's nephew I've never met, everyone gets treated as an athlete, and everyone gets treated with the same amount of care, respect, and love. And I don't really treat for money, and I don't treat to have a full practice, but I think when you work that way, people just find you.
So what you're saying, Chad, is that you make a lot of money.
No. Unfortunately,
like, I'm not here to make money, guys. I'm just here to hang out and have fun.
Well, I mean, I really do think I know what you're saying, and that's if you are only concerned about money, and like that's like me going out and being like, okay, I don't really care about the person I'm training. I just really like that they can pay me a lot for this package or whatever. That's not, eventually that person's going to see right through me. Right. And you attract people when you care and you see them and you hear them, because I mean, that's what humans are. Like, we connect with each other and we just capitalize on it. But yeah, absolutely.
And
I think that's awesome.
Professional, in the healthcare profession, it's a very bad thing to be solely driven by money.
Absolutely.
Because you wind up taking less time with people. And when you take less time with people, mistakes happen. Which is what happened.
That's what happened.
So how many people can I fit through the door?
Yeah, and I don't, I walk in, I'm desperate, I'm in pain, I don't know what I need, and I'm a trainer and I know that something is wrong, but with that severe of pain, it's like you can't even think about all right, how can I figure this out? There are some things, maybe subtle pains here and there that I've been able to figure out, but for the most part, I needed somebody's help. And I walked in trusting, and because there's a big sign on the door. But the reason I even said any of that is because I wanted to ask you, what would you tell people? Because a bad experience sometimes can really turn people off from like I've heard people say, I don't believe in chiropractic.
Right.
I think it's really bad for you to get adjusted because I had a bad experience.
Right.
They hurt me. They made my problem worse. And now I go, just do massages once a month or something, like what would you tell those people?
For those people, I try my best not to push people to do anything they're not comfortable with. And that's why in my office, I have some patients that I don't even adjust because they're not comfortable being adjusted. And that's fine. We can do mobility work. We can do all sorts of different things. And eventually they might open up to it. But I definitely don't like to push it on anybody. And somebody that's not ready for that type of work, they're not going to respond well to it anyway. They're not in the right mindset to take it the right way. And mindset's a huge part of healing as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a huge part of everything. And so if you are somebody who may have pain or maybe not, because like he said in the beginning, everybody can be adjusted and it will help you no matter pain or not. So if you are somebody who's maybe intimidated by, being cracked and popped and all that, you can still go to a chiropractor and talk to a chiropractor about what you need and what you are feeling and what you would like to be feeling. And they will help you in a way that you are comfortable at Rush Chiropractic. So, yeah.
Yeah, Chad, drop one thing that you want to leave our listeners with before you get out of here, man. What's one thing you want to leave them with? And then how can they contact you if they decide they do want to get adjusted or just find out what your services are?
Okay. One thing I want to leave with. I'm just here for the fitness community.
Yeah.
And if you're involved with any of the Nashville any of the fitness community, whether you come into my office to get treated, come to pet the dogs, you come to see me, my wife, or you just come to say hi, we're there. We're always willing to help, always willing to say hi. Love to see anybody, really.
Love it, brother. How can they contact you?
So my website's nashville-chiropractor.com. And my Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is just Rush Chiropractic Center. That's about it. You can
Love
find
it. Love it, Chad, man. We appreciate you stopping in.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother.
I'm going to stop in.
All right.
Sav, man, we're going to move on to getting back to this crazy expo. We got people starting to stand around.
There's a guy wearing, I think you actually talked to him, Jarrell. I'm looking at him now. He's wearing I can't even call them shorts. I don't think I can call them underwear.
He took the vest off, bro.
Yeah, okay.
You guys going to have to check out.
Have you heard of the Naked Cowboy?
I have not heard of the Naked Cowboy. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if I want to hear about the Naked Cowboy.
This is like okay, well, we're in Nashville, but this is in New York City. There's a man that walks around. He is jacked. And he's tan. Naked? He is mostly naked. He's about as naked as that guy. But he wears just like a little, and he carries around like a guitar, and it's like in front of his square. And he's just like a national phenomenon for being the Naked Cowboy in New York City. And people take pictures with him. So I feel like this guy, did you learn his name?
I don't remember it. It's on video, but I don't remember it. I saw an interview. If you guys don't know, just check us out. I interviewed this guy. He literally has on a cowboy hat and some Speedos. He had on a jean vest when I interviewed him, just so you know.
And the Speedos are denim.
The Speedos are denim. He is now without the denim vest and just the hat, but he's walking, but very distracted.
I think you can find him actually. I was looking at the Music City Expo Instagram story, which check it out. Like there's so many cool things. He's on it, and I think, was in the powerlifting competition earlier today.
That's what we were talking about. He's pretty
He's strong as hell.
Too,
he's so strong.
Even though he's in a Speedo, which makes me even more nervous.
He deadlifted in this very
Speedo.
Constricting underwear made of denim. So impressive. Impressive.
As you guys can see, we have our next guest live. Not in the studio. I was about to say live in the studio, but live
in the middle of the
expo. What's up, baby?
What's up? So good to be here. I mean, it's just like, it must be fake because me and Sav were literally talking 2 hours ago that we're making a podcast. I didn't think it was gonna be the day of.
I didn't either.
But here we are, living our best life.
It's crazy, what you speak. We'll have to get you on for real, because I do want to dig a little deeper into your story, man.
Yeah.
But we're here. at the expo. How has it been for you so far? I know you're here representing Ambition Clothing. I'm sure yourself as well.
Yeah.
How's it been for you guys so far?
Honestly, it's felt like a bit of a homecoming. Like, it's been really good just to see so many familiar faces and catch up and just see people just freaking taking over, Nashville, and just like building what they want, building what's important to them, and just to be able to come together and like really help each other out on that has been so cool. So for me, it's been super rewarding, very gratifying, and I live for stuff like this, so it's been cool.
I love it, man. I know you probably have a ton of questions for him, but I have a question for you, and it's a personal question, and if you want to answer it, cool. If you don't have her, deep you want to get into it. But we're here at the Fit Expo, and there's tons of gyms, trainers, and all that stuff like that. Recently, you just kind of reintroduced yourself back into the training world, man. What was it that made you step away, and then what was it that made you come back?
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So how deep do we want to get into this? So
we can go as deep as you want, or as shallow as you want, bro.
Or we can save it for that official episode.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give the Reader's Digest version. So for me, honestly, like I had been doing the training thing for so long to where it was just like, you get caught up in it, right? You kind of get lost in the sauce to where it's like almost kind of like lost identity and like passion for it. And so for me personally, I was just like, I needed a little bit more. And I've always been passionate about storytelling and creative things like that. I've always done content, like, corresponding to the fitness side. And so for me, these past few years have been a bit transformative in that regard, to where it's like, okay, how can I still inspire people beyond just fitness, like beyond just that discipline? And I found that like I'm super passionate, but I am like somewhat skilled at just being able to like bring brand stories to life. And that always just got me out of bed like every single morning. So it just made me it got me inspired, like more than just inspiring others, like I felt inspired.
Yeah.
Again. So, but with working with Ambition, just for example, it's like I'm managing their influencer program now. And I've always been drawn back to just roots of community. That's always what's mattered to me. And so the fact that I can still blend the health and fitness side, active lifestyle, clearly we're at the expo, we're a part of this event, but to be able to bring people together over something that's very purposeful and meaningful, I mean,
slam dunk, baby.
Can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, absolutely. So what attracted you to Ambition Threads versus there's so many apparel companies around here, and I feel like you're the kind of guy that, this might be a personal opinion, but I feel like it would be really hard not to get along with you.
Yeah.
Like, you're just such a nice guy, and you can talk to everybody, you can talk to anybody and relate to anybody. Right. And what drew you to Ambition Threads?
The people. It's just, I know it sounds cliche, but for me, it's the people behind the product that actually makes what it is, or makes it everything that it is. And I've known Tyler and honestly since like the OG days. So I've known the Ambition brand since 2017, 2018. So went through some ebbs and flows, just like every journey does, but it always returned back to like, I just freaking love the people that are behind it, because they actually embody the brand. They embody the lifestyle. It's not just some dope shirt or something like that, which is cool, but that only lasts for so long, right? And it's like, if there's meaning behind the threads, like just, not to pun intended there, but it's like, if there really is meaning there, then that gives me purpose as to why I should support it and why I'm like more than happy to represent it. And that's really it. But it always ties back to the people that are behind it.
Yeah, you're a people person for sure. And like touching on like kind of what we were talking about over at your booth, you were talking about how people like I had just been asking him questions about where his career has been, and he's everywhere and he's killing it, and he does his own thing. He's on social media, he's branding himself, he's branded with Ambition Threads, he's helping other people brand themselves. I just want to point out, I don't even know if this is a question, but when you said you have to relate to people, and if you are in this business, you can't only be in it for the money or the fame or something. Like, I don't know, I did not get into this industry for fame. No? I know that. No, I genuinely I was in the music industry. That's where I was going for fame or something. But I went into fitness to help people. I was more fulfilled by it. And exactly what you said, it was the community aspect and how everybody should have access to fitness and everybody should have access to things related to fitness. And when people who are in fitness if you're not a people person, you're going to get weeded out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And you are such a people person, but you also have such a compelling way of talking to people, to the point where I was literally like hooked on everything he's saying now and everything he was saying at his booth. Like, you're walking around, the adrenaline's going, like you're kind of head on a swivel, but I was locked into every word you were saying, because it's not just a strategy. I know salespeople have strategies, right? Of talking to you and an inflection, and trust me, I've read about it, but it is not that from you. So I'm just praising him.
Is that something, the question to stay on what you're talking about, CJ, is that something that you developed over time, or have you always been kind of a people person? Like me, I've always been kind of an extrovert. I've always kind of been the guy who likes to run around, hoop hop guy, like, right? Is that something that, because you don't come across as the hoop hop guy, right? Like I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm saying, like, just seeing you don't come across as that guy.
Yeah, you don't command attention, but you do.
Yeah, that's something that you. It's because he's if I'm chiseled chocolate, he is definitely. It's a behind the scenes. It's an inside joke between her and I. But is that something that you develop over time, or is it kind of something that you've always kind of been gifted or blessed with?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely been a trait that's been developed, honestly. So like, my love for people stems from my mom, just because she is like the biggest people person ever. I mean, she only stands at a whopping 4'10", but her presence speaks volumes, and so she's a lot more popular than I am. Like, she's a lot more popular than I am in Nashville. I think I'm popular than I see her. I'm just like, nah. But
everybody knows moms.
Everybody knows mom, and then I'm just her son. That's how people know me. But man, honestly, to answer your question, like for me, I've always been drawn to just interacting with people and building community, because I know how much the people that are involved with it, and just like people that are curious about, being involved in something, how much they can gain out of it, right? And so if I can act as some type of catalyst for that to happen, I feel like that's just like my role and my bigger purpose on this planet. But yeah, in terms of, Sam's point of just having that commanding presence and, just being very direct with people, the way I've always seen it is like, if these people or a person, whoever it is, if they're willing to give me their time and attention, the least that I can do.
I was just stop hitting the table. I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut you off. Yeah, but when you hit the table, hits the mic.
Oh,
so, all good, brother. But you got into it. You getting past it. It's like, you know what? I love it.
Yeah, I'm an anime. I talk with my hands. That's my bad. So we're getting a little intense here at the expo.
I love it, brother.
So yeah, to her point, for me personally, the way I've always viewed it is like, if people give me their time and attention, the least I can do is reciprocate that. And like be truly present, not looking around and things like that. It's like, if they're talking directly to me, I'm there. Like, I'm intentional. It's like, it's the way that I approach working out and several other things. It's like, if you're there, like, be there. Don't just say you're there. Like, actually be there and listen and understand. Yeah. So
be where your feet are. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. I got a question. I don't know. You sound like you have one too.
No, I was gonna rap, but go ahead.
Well, I had a rapping question too.
Yeah, go.
But we can ask both. I mean, we can do what we want, So I want to know, where are you going next? Like, where do you have your sights set? Because I know you're literally with a brand called Ambition Threads, but I know you're an ambitious person, and you're never settling. And maybe you plan to settle at some point, but I know that you have a direction that you're going. Where are you going?
For me, so this is just kind of the phrase that I've like coined for myself, but I'm just quote unquote a culture creator. So culture is undying. It doesn't matter of like, I mean, we can talk about like AI and things like that, but human interaction, human connection, that's something that's always going to be needed and in demand. And that's what I want to bring to life for any brands. Like, so when it comes to culture, I'm specializing more so in the health and fitness space. Like, those are the main brands that I work with. But in terms of just like doing their content strategy and management and just telling an actual story versus just posting stuff to the grid, because that's what most social media marketers do. And that's what gets the job done. I'm not here to just get the job done, right? So it's like, I'm here to do a good job, like, and do the job well. And so for me personally, I'm very much, because I've been so young, it's existed for years, but it hasn't really done anything for, honestly, the same amount of time. Just full transparency. And so it's not until recent months that, I started capitalizing on opportunities. People are actually hearing the name, they know what I'm about. And so a lot of it was just like, coming out with my new identity of what I can actually like cater and like give to the world. So it's just growth phase now. So that's my trajectory.
Okay, well, you did say growth phase, so maybe you want to wait, but where can people find your new name, your new brand, everything? Like, how can they find you?
So my name, I'm probably one of the only Copernicuses you're going to find. So Copernicus_Johnson on Instagram. I'm super active on there. Also, my actual brand is called Actions Over Words Lifestyle. So what you do over what you say. That's just been my motto, my mantra for life. And so I decided to name my company that. And it's just something that, I wanted something that was universal in nature, but unique in application. So I don't care if you're like a chef, fitness trainer, doesn't matter. Your actions speak, right? And that's always what matters.
Oh yeah,
and
people can talk all day. I mean, take it from me.
Game, very few walk it, right? So it's like, so knowing that fact, I'm like, okay, I got to put a name to this. And it's really resonated with a lot because I want to do it, on the community aspect, I want to include as many people as possible. So Actions Over Words Co. on Instagram. I'm on the TikToks, YouTubes, all that stuff.
Are you dancing on TikTok?
Yeah. What's up?
Are you dancing on TikTok?
Dancing? No,
no dancing.
I got dance moves, but like, not for TikTok. That may be a different
He's got
account,
that plug.
So but no, yeah. So really, any and all platforms should be able to find me. But please don't hesitate to reach out. It's like I love to connect. Like that's what I thrive off of, and that's what gets me up every single day.
I love it, man.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I appreciate you stopping by.
There is a quote, and we'll end it now, but there is not a quote. I mean, if you've read the 4 Agreements, I feel like you've read that. My employer at one of the gyms I've been at had me read that book one time, just suggested it, and never forgot it, because one of them is say what you mean, be impeccable with your word. And I feel like everything you just talked about, that just reminded me of that. But
was it.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, and just for being here at the expo with Ambition Threads. Thank you to Ambition Threads. Check out the apparel. I mean, it's sick. Their designs are so sick. I'm planning on actually stopping by the booth again so I can get stuff. But
they're also
check out Copernicus on Instagram and everything he's doing. He is so fun to follow, and we've been IG buddies for a while now, so I'm proud of that. But
all right, brother.
All right.
I'm humbled.
So are we rapping?
We're rapping.
We're rapping. All right.
All right. Thank you guys.
We're not rapping. We're just rapping with CJ here. Yo, I want to bring this is very random, but my guy Todd McCullough, T-Mac Fitness, he's gonna come on. We got some treats too. Don't touch them yet. Okay, we got some treats. My guy Todd McCullough. So as he walks on stage, as he walks on,
he just now found out that he
literally just found out. But I couldn't let him get out of here before I did an interview with him. So Todd is like literally.
I like your hat.
One of my.
Where did you get that?
It's his brand. How are you? The Mind Right is his brand.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, we're about to do an interview.
I'm learning as well. Hi.
We're about to do an interview.
So good to meet you. I'm Sab. Sab. It's Savannah. You can call me Savannah. You can call me Sab.
Are we live right now?
We're live right now, brother. We're
just chatting.
going.
We're just having a good time.
So we're chatting,
no
and so Todd, T-Mac, whatever you want to go by. What do you have a preference? Big Daddy,
T-Mac,
whatever.
Todd, whatever you want to call it. Skinny white dude.
It's not skinny white dude now.
Right.
No. Listen. So I wanted to bring you on. It's totally just super last minute, but you were here. And you're in the fitness community, but you're not really in the fitness community. But I wanted to bring you on because you have a very unique story in what your brand is, right?
Yep.
So where you come from, your path to where you are now is very unique. And that's something that we actually connected with. We literally met at the Nashville Fit Games on the field.
Oh, cool.
Right? He's from Florida. I'm from Florida. And as soon as he said that, I was like, yo, you from Florida? Until he said he played for the University of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Football. And I was like,
I see.
I'm out.
Shit out of some of those
Right on.
But then we sat down and we don't have any earphones for you. I'm sorry. We sat down and we talked. We met later. We sat down and we talked, and we just became literally fast friends, right? It was just one of those things.
Do you think that's because it's a Florida thing, or just
I think
guys were meant to be?
I think that's a part of it. But Todd is a people person. He gets people, right? So as we're still talking, I want you to tell a little bit about your story. So Sav, this is gonna throw you off, right?
Okay.
So
I'm here for it.
Todd right now. How tall are you, Todd? 6'5".
First of all, he's wearing
6'5".
a really cool hat
which is a part of his brand, so you can get that from him.
It's rainbow, guys.
We'll
it's
drop
not
that.
Rainbow.
We'll drop that. Todd played middle linebacker for the University of Florida
many moons ago.
Todd is now, Sav, a yogi. Messed you up right there.
Did you think that was going to surprise me?
Messed you up right there, right?
Terrell.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't surprise me at all. I actually, my father, of all people, told me, one time, you know that football players do yoga and they get their nails done and they go to bar classes. I used to be a tomboy,
My nails done.
and I used to really want to play football when I was like a very young, like I played at recess in elementary school, and all the boys hated it, but I had to do it.
Yeah.
Long story short, when he told me that, because my mom wanted to like take me for a pedicure or something one time, my dad was like, well, you know that football players, they take yoga and they do bar classes and they take ballet and they get their nails done because they take care of themselves in all kinds of ways. They have to do hard things. They have to hit people. So, and I never forgot that. So actually it doesn't surprise me, but it is very interesting that you went from football and went into yoga. So how is that going?
Yeah, so I would say like two unique things about that, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in the sticks in North Florida. Never in a million years I think I'd be doing yoga, right? But 5 surgeries led me to where I couldn't go to the gym anymore and lift weights. I'd be in pain all day. And so as an athlete, like drilling our sim, we got to move, and that's the best for everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So if we don't get that sweat in, like we're a little wired, a little different. And I needed that, and so I found yoga, found a great teacher, and literally just dedicated almost 5 years straight of every day in his class. And I would train people around his schedule because he was so good. Shout out to Vinny Marino.
Yeah.
And I would say two things. One, my body started to heal. And then I would say the mindset started to shift. So there's a concept we use on this hat I'm wearing called mind right? So just part of this, we say move your body every morning and connect to your spiritual practice before you look at your phone, before you look at work email. We call that getting your mind right every day. And during this first part for yoga and for all those that are curious about it, you're mainly going to go for the physical element. Like, it's just my hips felt good, my shoulders felt good, I wasn't in pain. That was it for the first probably 4 years. And then I started to notice what I call lengthening the gap between stimulus and response. And something that's somewhat needed in the athletic, military, police community. I'll give you a little backstory. So I'm at the University of Florida. I'm a true freshman. We're the number 1 team in the country. So that we were good. And I get into a fight and I knock some kid's teeth out. And I didn't think much of it. It was just how we were raised. Like, he said something negative about my girlfriend. I got my pickup truck, drove downtown, got in a fight, went back to bed.
You gotta stand up for the girl.
Right. And so I just went back to bed and I think it was much different. And then the cops show up to arrest me. And I didn't know I did. So I had to turn myself in for a voluntary arrest. And I say that and said that yoga helped transform my body physically, but also mentally. So now what I say is getting your mind right is, can you lengthen that gap between stimulus and response? So you and I just met each other. Maybe I say something negative about you, right? So you can develop that mental muscle of rise above. You see two people passionately care about a situation. Can you take a step back and then come back into your body and make a positive change?
Yes.
And so,
oh my gosh, yes.
Especially with the way that we were taught to respond to
Correct.
disrespect.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
And so even with that, talk about what that process was like, and then also go into your meditation process.
Yeah, I love this conversation.
Yeah, and so for me, it was almost reverse engineering how I was raised, right? My pops loved me, and he did the best he knew how, but it was raised. That's why you don't always say you don't see good many choir boys playing football.
Yeah.
Right? You need someone with a little bit of this to run downfield and run into someone, right?
Yeah.
Full speed,
and
right?
It worked really well in the field. But
Like a coach dad. Yeah.
When you step off the field, let's say you and your partner, your wife, your girlfriend are having a dispute, all you know is when you get stimulus, it's physical response.
Because we're taught to meet aggression with aggression.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it works for a first part of our childhood.
Yep.
Right? You come from where you came from.
Yep.
You couldn't be soft.
Yep.
If you were soft, you weren't going to fucking make it out.
Right.
Right? You had to be a little of this. But then you become older. Now you're a father. You're a husband. You got a successful business. You can't be losing that shit over some dude at the bar.
Right.
Calling you the N-word or calling
Right.
you can't be forfeiting your baby girl's future. You in jail?
Yeah.
So how do you rewire that? And I think that we start thinking about the mind as a muscle, just like training your glutes. It doesn't happen overnight, but consistently doing that. So that's why we always stack a brief meditation at the end of your workout and we call it the mind right meditation. So it's 4 simple parts. I think everyone's a great entry point for yoga, for meditation. It's just a moment of gratitude. Right? I got a chance to move my body today. I got a chance to hang out with my brother, hang out with some friends. The second part is lifting up a loved one. Right? So we got Shan's birthday today. Let's take a moment to lift her up. Right? Pour some blessings upon her. Sterl's wife, right? Third part, visualize the success. What does success look like today, right? Maybe it's having a successful podcast conversation. Maybe it's coming home having a good family meal with your wife and kids. What does a good day look like? More importantly, what does it feel like? And then the final part, be present, be still, which is inspired by Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. And so we can create that stillness, right? So right now, fairly new to Nashville. I'm not at the ocean anymore in California. So I hop in the creek and I allow that stillness to take place in that part of the meditation. I now can see the leaves a little crisper. I can see the blades of grass.
Oh, I love
My
this.
nervous system goes down. My cortisol's all down. And so how do we, this all sounds good, but to me, meditation and physical fitness have always been separate. And so what we're trying to do is merge those two. Say, hey, go do your workout. Go fucking crush it. You need to get that out of you. At the end, take a couple minutes, come back to your breath, do this 4-part meditation. Go have a great fucking day.
And you have
Man,
it's called the 4-minute
yes.
meditation, right?
Yeah, it's called the Mind Right Meditation. It usually takes about 4 minutes. You stay with each part to where it feels comfortable, but usually, roughly a minute. I don't really time it. But it's the idea, right? So James Clear has a book called Atomic Habits.
Mm-hmm. I know that book.
It's a great book.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things James talks about, I didn't know we were doing this, is taking a good habit and stacking a new one on top.
Mm-hmm.
So say you've got fitness, you've got a good morning routine with a workout, but you want to try this meditation thing, right? Take your normal good routine and stack the new habit on top, so it's a reward system, right? So like maybe you have your coffee after your workout, and that's the way to reward yourself. And so just learning behavioral change is, I think, what's kind of made this stick for people that normally never would meditate.
Well, and a big thing that you mentioned, I think, a hard step to go through, but a very, very life-changing step is to take a moment, like be present with where you are, because even here is a great example of like, there's so much going on, but like talk to the person who is at your booth, who is, like there's probably a lot of people around and there might be somebody important you want to talk to, but at the end of the day, like when you're sitting by the creek or you're sitting by the ocean, like that's something I have to tell myself all the time is to just, I'll be working. And then I get really stressed out, and it's like, you have to. And then you also have to, when you're going through really hard things, remind yourself of gratitude, because there's always something for me personally to be grateful about, whether that's the roof over my head or just really good things going on. But I mean, like, it's really hard to do that when you're going through a hard time. So everything you're saying is like really reassuring to, I think, especially athletes. And I know that you guys can speak to that more than I can, because I did not grow up as an athlete. But at the end of the day, it's so important, I think, for anybody who has been an athlete and had that culture of go hard, like beating your body up until and I get things like that. And I understand the discipline also has its, benefits, but being able to step back and before you react. Okay, so I'm going to rise above this and I'm going to breathe for a second and meditate, and nobody's above these things. It helps, and it's like bridging that gap. I love that you're doing that. I'm just
So Todd, before we wrap, give us one tip on how to what Sav was saying, how we can still be that savage, but also because you understand the saying, I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war.
I think it helps you be even more savage.
So how do you what's one tip that you would give us on how to still be a beast, but also understand that how to tap into that opposite side of what beast mode is?
That's a great question. The yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's hard for people like us to be still, right?
So this is one thing that I've always said, is that you can have the greatest philosophy, but if you're getting your ass beat all the time, ain't no one going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So you still got to win, right? So how do you show up in a way that's positive, that's encouraging, that's physical, right? But once you have that level of confidence in yourself, like for example, like I just got into jiu-jitsu, right? And I'm getting choked out every freaking day. And I'm used to dudes like handling dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am the weak link. But the one thing I love about jiu-jitsu, the most advanced guys, the most advanced women are the most humble.
Yep.
Because they understand violence and they understand their capabilities and they're in control. So it's removing the ego. Again, you can say whatever you want about me. All good, man. You the man, whatever it is, because you have that inner peace. I feel like when we were younger, when we were fighting, again, we had to develop that sense of confidence. But once you've done that enough, it's just your ego at that point.
Yeah.
And so understanding that you can control yourself, that you can protect you, your woman, your children as a man, like you need to have those skill sets. It doesn't mean just sit on a rock and meditate. Like you need to work that skill set to be able to handle yourself in a room.
It's connecting with you.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not trying to change anyone else or like put values on anyone else. It's connecting with you. That's awesome. Well, I love it. All right, we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're wrapping.
But
Todd has a
thank
really,
you so much, Todd.
Thank you for having me.
Really
Todd has
brilliant
a really
advice to
dope
everybody.
online platform. Is it T-Mac Fitness?
Yep, TMAC Fitness, T-Mac Fitness.
There
Appreciate
we
you guys
go.
having me on. I had no idea
Thank
we were
you.
doing
T-Mac
this.
Fitness.
Good, brother.
So great to meet
Oh,
you.
good. Thank you, guys.
And I'm gonna need one of those hats.
We're
Bye. Oh my
we're
gosh,
going-
no.
We're gonna
I will buy one.
wrap it up
I will
with,
be
with
a
T-Mac.
respectful customer.
And bring on our next guest,
Thank you, though.
Protein Snack Shop.
Yay!
Yeah, baby. So I'm assuming that this is what this is about, Sav. And so,
Yes! Oh my God. You have
know,
no idea how
you
much
know
I love this.
I'm always with the free food. I'm always about snacks, baby. So we'll let you guys get settled. And clearly you're feeling like a snack, man. Is this your wife? I don't want to disrespect you. Okay, but I was reading your shirt. I don't want you to jump across the table on me, man.
I actually got to talk to Dana earlier, so I'm really excited to talk even more in depth about.
Before you leave, I see all these guys here in the
Hang on one second.
Carbon Performance is going to give away one more ticket to the CBUM event.
The J Cutler
at
line
their
is
gym
finally
on
going down.
July 8th.
Wow.
All you have to do is come over here and
I
get
still
the
see
QR code and get signed
it's
up.
still wrapped,
They're gonna
but
do a
it's
drawing
definitely less.
after the event. One
Do they
lucky
not know that
person
we're in the middle of a
is gonna get
podcast
free
right now?
admission to
How
the
rude.
CBUM set event. July
them
8th
permission.
at Carbon Culture. I see you guys coming. Come on, go ahead, hit that QR code for that chance to see Big CBUM and grab yourself some Fabulous pre-workout before you leave.
All right, you heard it on the podcast. So if you're
There you
listening,
go.
it's probably the opportunity's gone. But
All right, let's get into this protein snack shop. Where
Yeah.
are you guys located? What do you do? Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
So we're in Spring, Tennessee. It all started. Dana has loved to make things healthier for people. And I finally talked her into quitting her job in 2018 from Target. She made it a couple months. It was only going to be a hobby. It was never going to be a business. And the Fit Expo in 2019 is the reason it's a business.
I love it.
We did it at
Wow.
the Vanderbilt Rec Center.
Yep, I remember.
And it was a Saturday, Sunday event back then. And I think we sampled 900 samples or something. And so I got in the truck Sunday and I'm like, because I've been trying to get her to do it. So I'm like, sweetheart, people like this. I said, I think we should do this as a business because she'd always said, they're just people that are being nice. I'm like, we didn't know any of those people.
I've
So
been
that
a
was
super fan.
This isn't our
Probably
friends,
2019,
right?
yeah.
We don't know any of those people.
I have loved these products. I didn't know who was behind it, and I'm so glad I got to meet you. And I'm glad that we get to have this conversation. But I saw your products in the refrigerator at Nutrition Factory, which is no longer in the location it was when I went there. But I used to go get my meals, my supplements, and things there. And they were like, "Oh no, you should try those. They're really good. It's a local, they're really good though. You should try it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I like the macros on it. Like, this looks great. It is the best protein desserts that I have ever. I love them. The cheesecake specifically,
Well,
but
Sam,
I will let them talk more about it.
Sam, I'm being told that we need to try these now.
Ooh.
I think this is
Don't
this
mind
the
if I do.
cheesecake.
Vanilla cheesecake.
This is so
That's gluten-free, sugar-free, low-carb, high protein.
okay.
All right.
In a bar, how many grams of protein am I getting?
13.
13 grams. How much sugar?
0.
Throw 30 to me.
Boom. What do you think?
It tastes like cheesecake.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think it's not going to taste good.
I was, you know what? I was expecting
That's gonna blow your mind
the
too.
protein taste. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just like cheesecake, but I taste the protein too. I don't taste the protein at all. I taste cheesecake.
There's no aftertaste. People don't ever believe it's sugar-free.
Yeah, no, it's not. So you want to give us the ingredients? You want to give us the recipe? No? Okay. I didn't know if you just wanted to share it real quick so we could make our own. Do you guys have a website?
We do.
What's your website?
ProteinSnackShop.com.
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 Okay, now what
You gotta try the brownie.
This
What
is
am I
brownie.
trying here?
So we have a new
Because
honey line that's all natural, no preservatives. shelf stable. We have a nitrogen flush packaging machine, so there's no oxygen in the package, so mold, bacteria can't grow, but we don't have to add preservatives. So that is the blondie
No
that you have,
preservatives.
and that's the brownie that
This
you
is
have.
the brownie
I
right
had the
here.
brownie earlier. It's better than a freaking brownie.
It's
like
better than-
it's like
Sav,
a brownie
Sav,
with the,
you're talking it up right now.
dude. I have to. Like I cannot.
She's
No.
doing this for free snacks.
I
She's
just love food, okay? Like especially good food, because right what you said about protein and the taste, like I can eat a protein bar and be fine, you know, like protein bar, cool. This stuff is dessert. It's not like eating a protein bar on the fly. But I tried the brownie earlier.
No, I'm sold.
I'm about to try the blondie. If anyone can hear me.
Dwayne Blevins, come get your Capital One Venture card.
I think that's a salted caramel.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
so
be
good.
honest. You haven't missed yet. Both of those were
Right?
good.
The brownie is
You haven't
nuts.
missed yet.
Somebody told me earlier that the brownie reminded them of those old school cosmic brownies that you buy like
Yes.
at Walmart.
Yeah, that's exactly what it.
That's exactly what it
Yes.
tastes like.
The
Yes.
consistency.
The little Debbie's not. We're not trying to shout out Little Debbie, but just
Yeah.
the little Debbie snacks. That's exactly what.
It's like the cookie dough consistency, but the brownie taste.
Yeah.
That's what I love about that one.
Put
And
some
then-
sprinkles on top of that, and we're living, baby. We're here.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, the little Debbie cakes. Those Cosmos, yeah, little rainbow sprinkles,
Yes.
yeah, it's
I love
delicious.
it, man.
We're rolling out a bunch more flavors in the next few weeks too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Are
do
you
you have
guys
any
only
like?
online, or are you?
No, we're in retailers too.
Okay, where?
So we have a store located on our website.
Okay.
But we're nutrition factories. We're about to be in a bunch of gyms. We're partnered with Crunch. And some other
Right
gyms.
on.
I love it,
Yeah,
brother.
twice daily.
Yeah.
We'll have our
Twice
stuff.
dailies?
Yeah.
Get out of
All
here.
60, yeah.
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 So,
That's
Okay.
So
awesome.
we cold pack and ship to all 50 states
Yeah. I love
Amazing.
and
Yeah.
we've even shipped to Canada and England, I think.
and
yeah.
Alaska.
Well,
it.
yeah,
And Alaska. Wow.
And
Wow.
Hawaii.
I love it.
And like, I followed you guys on Instagram, and she's making them. It's not like she just was like, okay, I'll start a business, and then like, you guys can do this. Like, she's in it, and you see her talking about it. You see her making them. It's wholesome people. It's a wholesome company, but delicious products that should be,
Everywhere.
in Twice Dailies too, because I stop at gas stations all the time on my way to
All the
places.
time,
I gotta
right?
stop, but now I don't. So
Well,
Thank you.
I feel like we're getting kicked out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
not
thank
sure.
you so much for
But we
having
want to
us.
thank you guys for
Yeah,
coming
do you
on,
guys
man.
wanna leave-
Seriously.
the podcast listeners with anything that you want to say about your company, about the expo, anything like that?
The expo Roy has hit it out of the ballpark. I've told him that about 10 times. So great job. We have had a huge turnout. It's like I said, it's what birthed our company, right?
Yeah.
It was a hobby until we did the 2019 Fit Expo.
Yep.
So it's because of this that we actually decided to make it a company.
Yeah.
I love it.
that.
Oh,
We appreciate
full circle
all the local
moment.
support. People are just amazing.
Our customers are amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
And if anybody knows of any nutrition stores, coffee shops, gas stations, grocery stores that they want to send in their area, just to reach out to us, let us know.
Everywhere.
Yes, reach
Yes.
out if you want to see some delicious desserts somewhere near you that is convenient for you and they don't currently sell it. You know where to find them, proteinsnackshop.com, and send in that request.
I love it, man.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
thank you for having us. Have a wonderful weekend.
You
Thank
too.
you. Sav, I think we are officially a wrap, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Nashville Fit Magazine podcast. I'm your boy, DJ Redwell. This is
I am Sav. Thank you guys so much for being with us at the expo, and we will talk and chat and have all the good times with you guys next time.
See ya.